On this episode of the Ask Will Show, I talk about what my favourite sales books are and who I think is the best pound for pound fighter in the UFC. What is up, Sales Nation, and welcome to episode 8 of the Ask Will Show. And we're absolutely flying now through these. I think we're going to get to, obviously we're going to get to 10 beginning of next week. Then we're going to be at, 100, not that many months away. I think we're going to have to do something to celebrate 100. I think that's going to be a big deal for this show. And yeah, let's jump straight in with the questions.
Low Custard asks, what is the one thing you see salespeople do wrong over and over?
So right now, in coming up to end of summer 2015, the thing I see salespeople doing wrong, and it's something that I've done as well in the past, I'm totally guilty of, is spamming prospects. So the job of a salesperson is to connect on a one-to-one level. That's what you've got, which marketing don't have. They have to spam. They've got an email list of thousands of people. They don't have the time to introduce themselves to each person, and they're trying to use software to do all that kind of stuff. But as a salesperson, you've got the skills to narrow down who are qualified prospects, who are just rubbish that's come in that wanted something for free. And yeah, you've got to suss all that out and then connect with people on a one-on-one basis. The problem is that takes time, and that is essentially what separates the average salesperson from a great one. A great one will know this, understand it, and will push to connect with each of those people. I mean, as an example, at the moment, it was going to take me a few weeks. I am connecting one-on-one every single person who subscribed on the salesman.red blog to get our newsletter. I've emailed every single one of them, and if you've not got it yet, it's come in asking, hi, and Will, yada yada yada, what's your biggest problem in sales? What can we do as a company to try and help you? What kind of content do you want from us? Do you want entertaining? Do you want funny sales content? Do you want quick read content? Do you want longer content? So that's what we're doing there. So yeah, the thing that people are making the mistake of, and it's getting worse and worse and worse until eventually it'll have to get better, is that they're just spamming out emails. They're using marketer tools to do it. Marketing companies are getting wiser and starting to try and sell some of these products to salespeople, and they're okay for helping, and CRM's obviously useful, but yeah, you've got to connect one-on-one, and you can't spam.
Enraged Ferret asks, now that the Salesman Podcast has replaced Joe Rogan on my morning commute to work, I want to know who you think is the pound for pound best fighter in the UFC.
Well, I used to listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. I listen occasionally. I listen to the Ronda Rousey one that was done a few weeks ago. And it's good. He's a good guy. It's hilarious. Obviously, he's a comedian, so he's got that going for him. But it was just too long for me and took up too much time that could have been used more productively. So, in answer to your question, I really like John Jones. I think he had a very close fight against Gustafsson not too long ago. I think that was the closest he's ever come, other than all the shenanigans he does outside of the octagon. But the other night, Mighty Mouse's fight, he just I can't remember the other guy's name now, but he annihilated him. And to me, he's the clear pound for pound best fighter in the UFC.
Mr. J. Hoff asks, hey Will, I love what you're doing here. Do you read sales books? What is your favourite? What has had the most impact?
So yeah, I have read pretty much every mainstream well-known sales book. So I used to spend a lot of time reading every single day, probably 2 hours minimum in the morning, and then maybe more later on. The problem that I'm having now is I'm just too busy to read. So I might have to look into audiobooks, but I know for a fact that they do not stick in my head, and probably anyone's head, as well as sitting, reading, and I would make notes. I would take a post-it, scribble down notes so that I don't have to read the book ever again. I can just look through it and get the main points within 5-10 minutes of looking through it. So because I've read that many of them now, and they were starting to all say pretty much the same things, and they're all coming to the same roadblock of how sales have changed in the past few years, that no one is quite sussed yet, I don't think. And yeah, I think we are potentially going to be looking to be at the forefront of that. And I've got a book in the works and all that kind of stuff as well. So no shameless promotion there. But The Challenger sale was good. And a couple of old school Tom Hopkins books are good for beginners. Other than that, it's more mindset and motivation and attitude. There's plenty of books, Tony Robbins' books, brilliant. I think if you read that, you may not even want to work in sales anymore. Or it'll go one of two ways. You won't want to work in sales. You want to ditch whatever you're doing and go and do something that you find more fulfilling. Or you'll realize that what you're doing is good. It's a good vehicle and tool to get where you want to go. And so you'll just go all in. So yeah, I'd probably recommend one of Tony Robbins' books. And with that said, that is it. That is the end of episode 8 of Ask Will. Remember, you can ask your questions using hashtag AskWillShow in Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or just post in the comments of this on YouTube. Subscribe if you want to hear more from us. And we've got some exciting stuff coming on the channel just in general as well. All the podcasts will be going on there. The podcast is going to be going to a daily show. So if you listen to the Salesman Podcast, and yeah, click that link because you should be, then yeah, you're going to enjoy that as well. They'll all be coming on the YouTube channel. Obviously, it's not quite as useful YouTube if you're in a car or on your, a lot of people listen to the podcast when they're running or exercising. So that's where that comes into its own versus this, where obviously you can see me rabbiting on and talking nonsense. So with all that said, see you next time.